it's been such a hard week. My boyfriend of 2 days just broke up with me. I just feel like I have nothing left. I feel so alone. I wish I was just like a blonde. I wish I was 5'3". Like I hate like 5'5". I hate myself.
If you let me teach you the ways of psychology, you don't need me anymore. You can help yourself. Alfred Adler was the greatest psychologist. He is known for 3 main reasons.
The first one being his participation in the Vienna Psychoanalytic Society.
His second being his concept on individual psychology.
His third one being his concept on the inferiority complex.
Oh, didn't see you there. Remember, my psychology belongs to everyone.
The participants of the society would choose a topic out of an urn every Wednesday night, which would then be the topic of the meeting. The primary goals of the society were to advance psychoanalysis as a science and therapeutic discipline, promote it as a profession, and protect the public from untrained practitioners. A small circle of colleagues and supporters afford me the great pleasure of coming to my house in the evening to discuss interesting topics in psychology and neuropathology. Would you be so kind as to join us?
Yes!
Sigmund looked upon Adler as one of his first disciples. Adler never saw himself this way and broke off from Sigmund and the society in 1911. Alfred, you are one of my best students.
No! Sigmund! We are equals! I'm Alfred Adler, and I am your first president of the Vienna Psychoanalytic Society. I don't even know why I'm the way I am. I don't even know whose sweater this is, or whose pants these are, or who my parents are, and I don't even like my feet.
Oh, I love being your therapist. But just remember, I am the only one that can help you because I am a qualified psychologist, which you could never be. So, just sit there, listen to your problems, and pay me money.
Lies! This person's perfectly capable of helping themselves if you just teach them the right way.
Alfred Adler was a psychoanalyst, a psychologist, and a psychotherapist.
The second reason he is the greatest psychologist is because of his concept on individual psychology. Individual psychology emphasizes human need and ability to create positive change and impact.
Hey, I'm an individual.
No! Individual psychology does not mean to focus on the individual. One must take into account the individual's environment and the people associated with them. The term individual means the patient as a whole.
Oh, okay.
Helping children to feel valued, significant, and competent is often the most successful way to deal with difficult child behaviors.
His theory/practice is proven to be especially productive when applied to the growth and development of children. He believes a misbehaving child is a discouraged child.
Adler focused greatly on family dynamics, specifically parenting and family constellation, as a preventative means of addressing possible future psychological problems. I was one of the first practitioners to provide family and group counseling and to use the public education system as a way to address the community health.
Adler was the second born of 6 children. When born, he was diagnosed with various health problems such as rickets. This meant he was not able to walk until he was 4. Then at 5, he was diagnosed with pneumonia. He was told he was not likely to survive, but he did. This led him to wanting to become a doctor. Adler was told to quit in school, but he worked hard and ended up becoming the top of his class. He always believed in the true potential of children.
I stress the need to understand individuals within their social context. I addressed crucial and contemporary issues like equality, parent education, and the influence of birth order and lifestyle.
The third reason that Adler was the greatest psychologist was his concept on the inferiority complex.
An inferiority complex is defined as an acute feeling of inferiority, often resulting in shyness or through exaggerated aggressiveness. The inferiority complex also means that someone has a lack of self-worth, doubt and uncertainty, and can never feel like they can measure up to standards.
Often subconscious, it is thought to drive individuals to success or extreme asocial behavior.
Adler was considered one of the first community psychologists because his work pioneered attention to community life and population health. The primary inferiority feeling is said to be rooted in the young child's original experience of weakness, helplessness, and dependency. It is intensified by comparisons to siblings, romantic partners, and adults.
To be a human being means to feel oneself inferior. The child comes into the world a helpless little creature surrounded by powerful adults. A child is motivated by feelings of inferiority to strive for greater things. When he has reached one level of development, he begins to feel inferior once more, and the striving for something better begins, again, which is the great driving force of mankind.
We can suspect a feeling of inferiority, which calls for very special efforts of concealment. It is as if a man or woman feared that they were too small and walked on their toes to make themselves taller.
Alfred Adler believed when people are encouraged, they feel capable and appreciated and will generally act connected and cooperative. When they're discouraged, they may act in unhealthy ways by competing, withdrawing, or giving up. Adler observed how we go about gaining significance and belonging by seeing how we react to healing, growth, and change.
Adler is the best psychologist because he held equality, civil rights, mutual respect, and advancement of democracy as core values. Alfred Adler's life story!
Woo! Okay.
Woo!
Right. He was born outside of Vienna on February 7th, 1870.
He graduated from the University of Vienna in 1895 with a medical degree.
He began his career as an ophthalmologist, which focused on your eyes.
He went into general practice near a circus, and after working with circus people, he was inspired by their unusual strengths and weaknesses.
He began to develop insights on compensation and inferiority during this time.
After using his separate ideas from Freud to form individual psychology, and then he founded the Society of Individual Psychology in 1912.
He served as a doctor in the Austrian army in World War I.
He established a series of guidance clinics in Austria.
He went on lecture tours in Europe and the US.
Successfully promoted his psychological concepts, emphasizing social interest and a sense of community.
The Nazis closed down his clinics because he used to be Jewish.
He immigrated to the United States, where he began a professorship at the Long Island College of Medicine.
Unfortunately, he had a fatal heart attack while on a lecture tour in Edinburgh, Scotland.
He died May 28, 1937.
Today, the question is not whether you are Illyrian, but rather how much Illyrian you are. Thanks, Adler. You're the greatest psychologist ever.